In this kitchen remodel video, I'm going to show you exactly how I completed my very first kitchen renovation for under $10,000. And along with a few other remodeling touches like fresh paint and new floors, I was able to sell my home for quite a bit more than I paid for it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what kitchen cabinets, countertops, faucet, backsplash, range hood, and flooring we chose, and exactly how much we spent on each of those items in the kitchen remodel. And this kitchen remodel was not a lipstick fix. We did not simply slap on some white paint and call it a day. We actually completely gutted the kitchen and built it all from the ground up. The only thing we kept in the original kitchen was the appliances. And make sure you stay till the end of the video because I'm going to show you a huge bump in the road we encountered with the HOA after we already completed the entire kitchen remodel and how it almost ended up costing me thousands of dollars and it almost completely ruined any return on investment. We'll get into the kitchen remodel here in just a minute, but as a bit of background information for you, I purchased this condo for about $242,000, and after I completed the renovations, including the kitchen remodel, new flooring, and fresh paint, I sold it for about $297,000, which is currently the highest selling price condo in the entire neighborhood. But let's be honest, a kitchen remodel on its own was not going to make this home beautiful. It needed new floors, and it was in desperate need of fresh paint too. From the very first day I purchased this condo, it needed some serious love. The walls were glossy red, the carpets were old, dirty, and worn, and while the kitchen was functional, it just wasn't the aesthetic a home buyer's looking for these days, including myself. Why would somebody paint their entire place this glossy red? My best guess is it was a Purdue fan who lost a bet with an IU fan, and the consequence of losing the bet was painting his entire condo in IU colors. Or maybe he just really liked red, who's to say? But on a serious note, I did this remodel in 3 stages: paint, kitchen, floors. Let's dive in. I got the painting done myself, but it took me forever, and I'd never recommend painting ceilings this tall and in a paint color this dark on your own. By the way, the color you're seeing is called Carbonized by Sherwin-Williams, and while it is a pretty good dark gray, I would highly recommend actually choosing Onyx by Benjamin Moore, because I recently painted a wall in my apartment here, and I have to say I like it a lot better. There's no undertones, whereas Carbonized sometimes seem to have a blue undertone in some light. And painting this condo made a huge difference by itself, and since I did it myself and I clearly don't value my time whatsoever, it only cost me about probably $300 including all the primer, paint, and supplies, plus about a legit 7 days of labor. The next phase of this remodel is quite a bit more intrusive, expensive, and stressful. It all started with a leaky kitchen faucet and a desire for change. One night we noticed a leaky faucet in the kitchen, and it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. We'd been wanting to change out the kitchen faucet for a while, but the idea was you can't buy a new faucet and put it on these old ugly laminate countertops, and you can't buy new quartz countertops and put them on top of these old ugly kitchen cabinets, and you can't buy new kitchen cabinets and put them on top of these old ugly tiles. And you can't just put down new tiles and connect it into this old ugly carpet. So the solution we arrived at was to rip out the entire kitchen, break out the wraparound wall, make the entire countertop one level with a massive kitchen island, and rip out all the tile and old carpet and replace it all with one seamless wood floor. The end result is quite stunning, right? Our kitchen remodel was a simple idea, but the amount of work and planning we had ahead of us was tremendous. So it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and that night we began ripping out the kitchen, and it quickly set in that there was no turning back now. Removing the kitchen wasn't actually terribly difficult, and the demolition process was actually quite fun. The big difficulties we ran into was removing the 2 walls that were up against the kitchen cabinets, and removing the wraparound wall was difficult because it caused a huge hole in the floor we needed to cover up. The other wall behind the kitchen faucet side caused a big problem because all the wiring and plumbing was there. Causing a water leak from a cracked pipe really stressed me out in this process. Right now I'm feeling like this wall is causing us massive problems. The plumbing is a concern. I don't know how stable these lines are. It's like, you definitely don't want to cause a water leak. You have to like gently deconstruct this wall. I just don't know how I'm gonna do this. In order to get our kitchen remodel done the way we wanted it, we ended up needing to remove the entire wall and build a new one at the correct height and width for the newer, bigger kitchen island. Breaking out the kitchen tile was tedious, loud, messy, and nerve-wracking. I had to be super careful not to break the concrete board below the tile, and also the tile grout that stuck to the floor I had to get off and smooth for the new floor to sit on flat. The giant elephant in the room was the huge hole I put in the concrete board taking out the wall, and that needed to be flattened and smoothed out so you couldn't feel it below the new wood floor we put down. We ended up using a self-leveling concrete, and that was very messy. Luckily, our friend Kara and Paul, who turned out to be big-time lifesavers in this project, they wanted our old cabinets, so we didn't have to find anything to do with them other than call them up, and they brought their trailer, and Paul helped me carry the old cabinets down, and we loaded them up on his trailer. And the last I heard from Paul, they're still sitting in his basement, and he hasn't installed them yet, but he's going to one day. I got you some water if you want, man.
Oh, I'm good, man.
We ended up finding a good place to buy kitchen cabinets for a good price. The white shaker style cabinets you see here are real wood, and they have soft close hinges. These cabinets were really a nice quality, and they came at a really good price too. Here you can see the receipt from Cabinet and Stone Expo where we paid $2,475 for the brand new white shaker cabinets with soft close hinges. We chose Ocean Carrera white countertops to sit on top the kitchen cabinets because they had an in-stock special price of $50 per square foot. It ended up costing $2,345 for the quartz countertops. We could have saved money by getting a smaller kitchen island countertop, but we thought the large kitchen island was well worth the extra expense. One of the downsides of getting these cabinets at a discount rate at Cabinet and Stone Expo was they didn't deliver them, but they did build them on site, so that was really nice. But we had to rent a U-Haul and go pick up the cabinets and bring them back to our place and carry them up all the stairs. What are you doing?
Matt was helping them load the cabinets, and he caught me eating cake. Cake!
It can't be taller than 10 feet. It's a 10-foot truck, right?
Do you want some cake?
In exchange for us giving them our old kitchen for free, Paul helped me build the new wall we needed built and also install the kitchen cabinets.
Hopefully it lines up. If not, it's Kara's fault.
I forgot to mention we had our countertops scheduled to be installed on top of the kitchen cabinets, but the cabinets had not been installed and we are leaving for Europe in just a few days. The clock struck 4.
At least it didn't strike 16.
That's a very good point. Of course, trying to save money, I decided I wasn't going to pay to have the kitchen cabinets installed, and I was going to do it myself, even though I had no tools and no skills to install these cabinets whatsoever. So the kitchen cabinets were kind of just sitting in the garage. We brought some of them up, but we didn't know how to get them installed, but we had to get them installed before we left for Europe because the countertops were coming to get put on top of the cabinets that hadn't been installed. And at the last moment, Paul came through to save the day, and we would have been so screwed if he had not. He showed up with all his tools and his craftsmanship abilities, and it only took about a half a day to get the entire job done. This includes going to Home Depot, buying the 2x4s, building the wall we needed built for where the kitchen island was going to be, and installing all the kitchen cabinets and getting them level as well. Like I said, if it weren't for Paul, we would have been super screwed because the next installation date available for the countertop installation would have been over a month away. It was a huge relief to get the kitchen cabinets installed, and we left for Europe shortly after. And it was also a huge relief to be out of a construction zone and knowing the pros were on their way to install the kitchen countertops, the sink, and the new faucet. It was so nice to be on vacation and away from the project and get pictures of the work being done while we were on vacation, but it was also kind of anxiety inducing knowing we couldn't see anything going on and just hoping it was all done correctly. By the way, one afternoon we were out shopping at Costco and stumbled into this beautiful high-quality Kohler kitchen faucet for $239.99, and it seemed perfect for our kitchen remodel. So we bought it on a whim, and it turned out to be great for our kitchen. Also, prior to leaving for Europe, we stopped by Floor & Decor and purchased this herringbone pattern tile for a giant kitchen backsplash spanning from the countertop to the ceiling. 2 boxes is like twice as heavy. Including the price of the grout and tile for the backsplash, it cost $251.24 for the materials. After purchasing these items for the kitchen remodel, we were finally prepared to leave the project behind and head to Europe for 12 days.
The biggest difference over here is the cars are right hand drive.
After the countertops were installed, we had a handyman we know install the backsplash and the kitchen faucet for us while we were still in Europe. It was a lot of work for him to put up a large backsplash, and he charged us $1,202 for parts and labor. There was some additional plumbing work that needed to be done since we went from a kitchen with 2 drains to a sink with only 1 drain. So this did result in a bit of extra cost for our kitchen remodel. Coming back from Europe, it was delightful to see the remodel had made some serious progress while we were gone, and the final step was to have the flooring put down. It took quite a bit of time and thought to choose a floor. I decided I did not want LVP because to me, it just looks cheap and feels cheap. In my opinion, LVP is going to be one of the current remodeling trends we're seeing in real estate that's going to be considered highly undesirable within the next 10 years. We ended up choosing smartcore Naturals Boulder Creek Hickory from Lowe's, and we also chose to use Pergo Gold underlayment, and the floor was installed as a floating floor.
Oh my goodness! You're bleeding!
Where?
Look how close it is to your vein.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna bleed out.
Here's a few reasons why I chose smartcore Naturals Boulder Creek Hickory. 1, it's beautiful, and it's actually a real wood veneer on top, so it feels really nice to walk on too. 2, it's waterproof, and since we were having it installed in the kitchen, I really wanted a waterproof floor. 3, basically it has the look and feel of wood, but also the waterproof and toughness properties of LVP. 4, there was a variety of plank lengths, including longer boards. Some flooring doesn't have this, and they just have like short boards. It doesn't really look that good to me. 5, it fit under the trim, so we didn't need to pull up all the trim off the walls in order to get the floor under it. And 6, the price was pretty reasonable, I'd have to say. It's not the cheapest floor, but I feel like the bang for the buck was really good. We paid $2,579 for 40 boxes of smartcore Naturals wood flooring and an additional $453 for 6 boxes of Pergo Gold underlayment. I initially planned on installing the wood floor myself because, of course, but finally I came to my senses and realized I had no business doing this, so we paid for installation through Lowe's, and the results were absolutely beautiful and really put the final touches and added the wow factor to our remodel. The cost to have the floor installed came out to about $2,400, which was not cheap, but it did take a team of 3 professionals almost 3 full days of time to get the flooring installed. If I attempted to install the floor myself, I'd probably still be there cutting boards today. But I made the huge mistake of violating the HOA rules. Not knowing it at the time, it actually was not legal for us to install wood flooring where the carpet was. You're not supposed to put down hard surface flooring where all that carpet was, and we got a letter from the HOA that basically about made me have a heart attack. Somehow information of our remodel got passed down through the grapevine or something, and the HOA found out about our wood flooring going in, and one day I woke up to an email from the HOA saying that we had to remove the hardwood flooring and put down carpet. As you can imagine, this about made my heart about pop out of my chest and all that stuff. But luckily, we decided to give the HOA lady a call, and we got on the phone with her and we let her know the situation, that we didn't realize we violated the HOA rules, and we were trying to find if there was any way that we could get around not pulling up the flooring and putting down new carpet. And eventually what we arrived upon was we could cover the flooring 80% with a thick carpet pad, like a 1/4-inch carpet pad, and also a carpet of a certain density. And basically just cover up all the flooring. You can leave it there, but cover it up, like 80% of it covered. And ultimately, since we were listing the place for sale, the HOA lady even agreed to us not putting down any of this carpet. And instead, we just had to notify the person who is buying the place that we had violated the HOA rules, and they had to cover all of the hardwood flooring 80% of the way with carpet. And this worked out fine. For the buyer that ended up buying the place, we let them know, they signed the agreement, and to my knowledge, they put down the carpet to meet the HOA rules. Huge crisis averted. Anyway, after we got the floors down, basically the place was looking a million times better, and the only thing we had left to do was to install the floating shelving and a range hood. We ended up choosing a good bang for the buck range hood from Lowe's. Initially, when we started looking at range hoods, I couldn't believe the prices on some of these things. $500, $600, $700 for a range hood. I think the one we found was like $150, and it looked just about as nice as the rest of them. Sure, maybe it wasn't as good functionally, but whatever. The floating shelves were installed with some brackets bought on Amazon, and our friend was nice enough to make the shelves himself. I believe the shelves were made with pine, and they were stained, and then they were covered in polyurethane quite a few times, and they came out looking really nice. The mini fridge you see on the right side of the kitchen cost $399 from Lowe's. Overall, the entire kitchen remodel cost about $7,784, not counting the flooring. If you add in the entire cost of the flooring and the installation, the final cost for the entire renovation was $13,429. If this wood flooring had only been installed in the kitchen, the entire kitchen remodel would have been more than $7,784, but still probably less than $10,000. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I paid about $242,000 for the condo. I put about $14,000 into it, and I sold it for about $297,000. If you do the math, 297 minus 242 minus 14 gives a profit number of about $41,000. The kitchen remodel and new wood flooring and paint are what made this place sell. Overall, this kitchen remodel project was a ton of work and stress. And since selling this home and moving to Los Angeles, I found a much better way to make money in real estate, and I have a new video on that coming out soon, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. Thank you for watching my kitchen remodel video. Please click on the like button if you found this information helpful or entertaining, and please share it with a friend if you think they could benefit from it. Matt here with Tell Happy TV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.